Hello friends and welcome to Intense Thought. In this video we're going to talk about windows of the future and the past, the fractal. And for those of you who are not familiar with the concept of the fractal is a set of repeating patterns that are separated by time. I found an example of one here, just on a simple search here on DuckDuckGo. A fractal pattern is a small pattern which repeats itself larger, and then a large pattern which becomes very small, small, and small. So you can see in this fractal pattern that there is a continual relationship to this chaos. And I'm going to show you this on the S&P 500 using the SPX, the cash exchange, because I would like you to see this as it pertains to the current market data. When you take a look at this structure, what you'll notice, and this is the SPX going back to 2017, 18, I want us to look at the red boxes. Look at the red boxes, how you can see a larger high and two smaller lows, or two smaller highs. A larger high and two smaller highs. You have a decline in between, and then you have a decline after the two peaks. Here's the second box that's red. Here's the third box. You have, let's look at it by comparison. You have a higher high, or you have a high. You have a decline. You continue to two peaks, and then you fall again. This is distorted by time, but you can see the structure. Let's go back to the green. 3 rising, 3 rising, 1, 2, 3 rising. And they are expanding in size and in time. So by blocking out portions of the market, you can see this. So where are we in the present market? Well, in the present market, look at the blue boxes. 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3 down, but it is smaller. Okay? Look at the same shape here between these two reds. You have a rising and a rising. You have a rising and a rising. Now, here is where it becomes very powerful. The structure of this becomes very much in sync, because what you will get, and you had a sideways action, I would say, here first, sideways, sideways, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you rise. Okay, what you would actually see here is what comes after the box. Well, if this and this, I'm going to just draw to give us a little bit closer perspective. Look at the green and extrapolate what would you think is potential to happen. We had a rise. There's our rise. We had a fall. Here's a fall. What would we expect to see? We would expect to see, in terms of the fractal, if this is the repeating at this structure, you would choose to see between the red line and the green, where you would have a rise and a sideways consolidation breaking into the next structure or impulse. And that, viewed from here, gives us an idea of what to have in mind for what could be happening. Because you will see that throughout the structure of the market, this is what happens. After you get these, you get the similar breakout between the green and the red, between the green and the red. Between here, we are looking for the green and the green. And we have already seen almost exactly the same structure and pattern between red and red, but on a larger basis. So it gives us the ability to make a projection. On a larger basis, you'll see I put the blue and the red. Now, the blue and the red, why did I do that? Well, here we went red, green, red, green, red, green. Here we go blue, red, blue, red. So I would take again blue, red. In this case, it was a larger blue, smaller red, smaller blue, larger red. So I'm just going to alternate this pattern and say larger blue, smaller red. The blue in this case might be the 5 waves down, where we rise into here and then have our or in this case this 3-point structure down, and then we could see the 2 coming up from some type of a bottom. Now, you can't predict this forever into the future, but take a look at this video and you will see that there is, in this structure, a tremendous amount, especially if I pull it back to here. There is a tremendous amount of data that can be gleaned from this information. Because you have, if I just draw some horizontal lines, here is a peak. I'm just going to draw them I'm going to draw them right there. Here is your peak. I would say the peak is this one. You have a second high. You have a second high. You go down and have a rise. So let's mark that. Here's the rise to the third. Here's the rise to the third. They are structured very similarly. And let us go again. We then have our bottom, which we had. We have our bottom, which we had. And we are rising up to a peak right about here, where we then expect some type of pullback. Now, if the pullback, let's zoom in a little bit smaller to observe the fractal on a smaller basis. If we are right about here, and I know this will take some mental fortitude to do this part, then we have had our rise. I'm going to make these smaller. I'm going to make the lines smaller so that we can see them a little bit better. Once I actually select the style, there we go. I'm going to change it to a blue. Maybe I'll change it to yellow. All right. So let's pull it over here. We're seeing a rise from the bottom. We're seeing a rise from the bottom, having had a red bar pullback. As we extrapolate relative to the previous peak, where are we? We are lower, giving us an indication that maybe we are at, just so I can delete all these and give you a showcase of this, we may be right here. Let's get a smaller line. We may be right here. One of these candles. Rise, fall, rise. And that gives an impression of what we are looking for to the completion of this pattern. Rise, fall, rise. So, I hope this information, and you can see here the date is Thursday the 16th, March 23rd, and I'll give you this date if you care to use this yourself. You will find that this is remarkably valuable over time. You will get a tremendous amount of information from using this. Wednesday the 7th, August 24th. So I'm seeing comparisons here between the two dates. Thursday the 16th of March 23 and now. So take those as you wish, and I hope that this will help you with your trading. I'm going to, in the next video, explain what these other lines are and give a more detailed look at what the structure of the harmonic frequency of the S&P 500 actually appears to be. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope this was informative.